Hello, this is Diane with Diane's Blue Hearts and Butterflies.com, and I wanted to show a really fun thing that you can make with stamps that's other than just a card and everything. And this month, July 2022, I'm kind of doing a retro or a retired replay, and so I'm using several products that I have in my stash that is old type of things that I've had for a long time. And so this is a set, and there's several other stamps that I'm using that are out somewhere. And I called it Americana. It didn't have a name on it when I found it at a garage sale. It was a 1994 Stampin' Up! Product. And I really liked this flag stamp that it had, so I decided to use that to create a keychain. Now, at my very first onstage event in Salt Lake, I believe it was, I received this pair of earrings, and they had the snowman on it, and Alice A. Brown had brought those and was doing trades for other things. So I wanted to to just show there's other things that could be made. We talked about some in my class for July, that you could make things charms to go on bracelets or necklaces, or use them for we created some for holding on to yeah, I've got one right here. I don't know, I don't. That's another pair. Anyway, some of those things that dangle from your scissors, I have several that have these shrink film type stuff. So this isn't a Stampin' Up! Product, the shrink film, but you can get it at most craft stores or online somewhere. This is the one that I happen to have. And this product, it's just like the one thing that you remember doing a long time ago when you were a kid, maybe, and you would draw things and then you would cut them out and put them on a baking sheet to do and to shrink it. But I saw a tip a few years back on how to do this using a heat tool, so I wanted to share that. The shrink film, it has a really smooth side, and then it has a sanded or a rough side on it. The smooth side is the front of this. Now, just like any window sheet or any other non-porous thing that you're going to use, you're going to have to use StazOn ink on it to be able to not have the smearing. This is a pigment ink instead of a dye ink, so the image won't smear. It dries fairly quickly. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of these, and you just make sure that you get the back of the stamp, the image part on there, and then I'm just going to, maybe I'll just do one right now, just to show you that you do that, and then it shows that on this is on the shiny side again. And then when you get ready to color on it and add some color to it, what you want to make sure that you do is color on the back side. That way the image still shows on the front, but you're going to color the back side. Now, I'm just going to set that off to the side right now. And you can use basically two products to be able to color. And one is the watercolor pencils, or any kind of coloring pencils that you have, you can use for this. The other thing that you could use is going to be the blends, the Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol markers, because they dry quickly, and you need something that is going to dry. You can't use the Stampin' Write markers because they are a dye-based ink instead of an alcohol ink, and it will continue to just sit there floating on the surface, and you'll smear the ink and it'll rub right off. I know this because I did it. So just sharing some stuff with you. Now, the one thing about, I don't remember which one right off the top of my head, but one of the watercolor pencils is actually white. And so since this is the flag representation here, I am going to use the white on here for the stars as well as the white stripes. And just going to go ahead and color this in. I wanted to be able to show you how it works with the heat tool, because it's really odd. You think you've done something wrong, but you really haven't. It's going to do all kinds of folds and twisting and everything, but it will flatten back out as it gets smaller. So I'm going to finish this, and then I'll bring out the heat tool and be able to show you that. I probably won't talk much during that time because you probably won't be able to hear me anyway over the heat tool. So the other stripes are red. So I'm using the real red, the Night of Navy, and the white on the pencils. And I have both sets. There was a person I saw that, I don't know, posted a picture or something, and it kind of showed the idea of taking the pencils out of the boxes and putting them in some of these smaller cases, and then I just cut pieces off the box. And this, I think, was something we could get off of the Stampin' Up! Website, and I just put those in those things to carry them. I did find a little hand sharpener for the pencils so that I could keep it in one of the boxes to be able to sharpen these as I needed to and not have to go hunting for one. And as long as it's one of those small, simple ones, not a big thing that holds the shavings and all that, but a small one, then it'll fit inside that case with the pencils. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard to think and talk and color at the same time. So I'm going to move these off to the side, as well as my example. Now, another demonstrator that I watched once, she had cow whisperers, and she shared an idea of just a piece of cardboard and you wrap it in aluminum foil, and then she uses the clothespins to hold paper like when you're doing heat embossing. But you don't want to do that with this because it needs to be able to move. And so I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool with the piercing end. Now, this is an idea I got from France Martin. These little pencil keepers that they sell at most Dollar Tree or dollar stores, Dollar Generals, whatever. You can take the plastic case that is inside the box with your Take Your Pick tool, and you can cut it down on each end. It does, this piece does come out. Gotta stick your finger in there. I can't get it out right this minute, but it does, this tray comes out. You just have to get it underneath the little clasp there. But you can cut it so that it fits right in here and it'll hold your other tools. Even my die brush attachment will fit underneath it, and it just keeps everything kind of in a neat thing that you can carry around. But I'm just using the piercing end. The other side is the spatula end, and these just lock into place. But I'm going to use this as well as the heat tool. I don't have one of the newer ones, but I have one of the older ones. But I'll just let you watch. It does do some really funky things and dance in all different kind of ways, but just know that it will flatten back out. So. Alright, something else I forgot to mention earlier is when you put the hole in it, you do need a standard size hole punch, and that's what I was holding the thing in place with, was this hole. And it's going to shrink down quite a ways, so that's why you don't want to use a smaller hole punch, because these will fit on the keychains, or like here they've got the earring thing through it. You might be able to punch a hole through it after it's been done, but it's kind of easier this way. And then just I went and found these in the office supplies, or what do they call them? Anyway, office supplies area at the store, and it was a lot cheaper. I got 25 of these key tags to be able to use as a keychain, and I just pulled them off to get the little ring to be able to put these on. Now be careful, you have had the heat tool on this for a while, that's why I'm leaving it here to let it cool down. You don't want to touch it too fast or else you could burn yourself, so I'm just warning you. If it's been there for a little bit, you might want to move it to a cooler place on there. You just want to make sure that you're not going to be aiming your heat tool onto a work surface or something else that can't take the heat. I mistakenly one time was doing some heat embossing, and I accidentally put the item on my Stampin' Pierce mat, and it ended up kind of singeing a little place inside of it, so it wasn't a good surface to stamp on anymore. So just letting you guys be aware, learn from my mistakes kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off, but that is basically, you can turn any kind of stamp into a really cool item. You could I've even seen those wine glasses, they have those little rings at the bottom with a little charm dangling, and those I saw that they do have them on Amazon, and you could do those and give them as a gift set for somebody. I was just thinking we're getting close to the holidays, and you might want to start thinking about making some gifts and stuff. But I just wanted to share this, and hope that you enjoyed it. And any other projects for my class and videos that I make of projects I'm doing, I do post on my blog at www.dianesblueheartsandbutterflies.com, and you can link to some of my older stuff. All of my blog posts do link back to the YouTube videos that I create. So I hope that if you enjoyed this, you'll go over and check that out. You'll like my video and share it, and subscribe to my channel, as well as shop with me through my blog. And I'll see you, or do another video, and hopefully you'll be able to join me then too. Thank you.